Welcome to another episode of Women Investigate Women. Robin and I are loving our travel around the world, meeting powerful, impactful women and bringing their mission and their purpose to our community so that we can all learn from each woman, learn how they, in their own world, in their own way, investigate other women in the community and how women are helping build a world that is safer, that is empowering, and that is prosperous for her and women and communities around them. Today, we are going to the country of Belize, a Caribbean nation filled with very, very entrepreneurial women who are trying to make it in the world. I had the opportunity of meeting Eva during my community engagements and getting involved and getting to know women in the community. And I have had the honor of watching Eva from far. Eva Gabourel, who has been not just a strong professional woman, which is amazing, but she also takes such pride and care in being a big sister to other younger women. She herself is a young woman. So Eva, welcome to our conversation, and we are so thrilled to be featuring you.
Good morning, and thank you both for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. As we get started, Eva, take us back to you as a younger woman. You're still young. You as a younger woman, and what it was like and why you decided to become a big sister to other younger women as you traversed your journey while pursuing your professional career.
I have a sad youth upbringing. I lost my mom and my little sister when I was 15 years old. But through that experience, through that life experience, I got to meet some very wonderful girlfriends who were like sisters to me. I do have some other siblings from my father's first marriage. So I'm close to them as well, but I feel like all the advice, all the sisterly advice, all the sisterly experience that I didn't get to grow up with, I share with other women, and not really voluntarily, but it ends up being that younger women find themselves attracted to me in terms of wanting to share experiences with me and ask for my advice. And I find that I like doing that. I feel content doing that. And I feel content sharing and being kind and, I don't know, spreading knowledge and insight to younger women.
That is really beautiful. And I'm so sorry. We're sorry to hear about you losing your mother and a sister, and how very sad and tragic that must have been. And what's coming to my mind is, what was it within you, or what gave you the ability or the determination, the courage in the face of this just sad, tragic event happening, to then move forward and then be able to share your knowledge and your experience with younger women or even older women?
I feel like it's two things. One, I believe in God, and I believe that He was my strength, and He continues to be my strength. But also, my mother was a kind, loving, wonderful mother, and I feel like in 15 short years, she managed to impart so much of that onto me that it's just my way of being. And despite sad circumstances, I love life. I want to excel. I want to achieve. I want to live. I want to love. I want to feel. So I feel like I just have a passion for life.
As I hear you speak, it is so moving and uplifting that you embody the message of your mom, and through you, your mom's legacy lives, right? So you are embodying what your mom represented for you, and you have been that same light to other people. What have you learned about yourself and how being this caring, loving, gentle person alongside a very powerful, firm, and assertive career, what have you learned about yourself in that balance?
I've learned that remaining positive is a choice. And when you know how positivity makes you feel, you don't want to choose negativity. You don't want to choose being sorry for yourself or being sad. I mean, sure, that happens, but you get yourself out of it. You know, the power is in the mind. And in terms of being a caring peer or even a leader at times, I just found out that people respond to kindness, respond to caring, respond to loving, and I don't know, it harbors friendship, it harbors professional relationships, but it makes people want to interact with you. It's always a pleasure to interact with people who have similar personalities.
I'm loving what you're saying about being positive. Those who know me know I got my master's in applied positive psychology. And so there is so much research and so much evidence backing up what you say, what you just have known and learned perhaps intuitively. There's a lot of science behind that. And so I'm wondering, was there something within your family background or within the females within your circle, either extended family, where you got this notion of, I want to be positive? Yes, I see challenging things happening. I see bad things happening, but I'm going to move forward positively with my life and share that with others. Was there something within your background, within your family or extended friends where you got that notion of being positive?
I think it must be through reading, through movies I've watched as a child, through videos I've watched on leadership, on life. I can't pin it down to one specific thing, but I've always been drawn to happy outcomes. So I read books with happy outcomes. I watch movies with happy outcomes, and it inspires me.
That is very uplifting to hear. Too many times people see the glass half full, and you have convinced yourself and mastered the art of seeing your glass half empty. They're both true, right? The glass is both half empty and half full at the same time. As you look at the world around you, and Belize is really not an easy country for women to live in. Women don't always feel supported. Women do not have that network. Women do not have the luxury of a family. And when you look at yourself in the context of everything else around you, what advice do you have for women, both younger and older, in terms of choosing to see their glass half full? Because it's something that most women in the community struggle.
Gender roles and in the part women get to play. However, I feel like not focusing on it and just letting your actions speak for you. You do the work, you achieve the goals. You can do anything. It doesn't. My advice is to just focus on being successful for yourself. And when you do that, it will automatically not just show them, but if you tell somebody something, and they too can do great things.
Oh, beautiful. I'm going to jump around a little bit here. Before the program started, you shared that you were academically gifted, and I pointed out you also worked very, very hard, and you were valedictorian of primary school. You're the equivalent of high school here in the United States and in college. And but I pointed out the fact that it wasn't just being academically gifted, is that you had worked very hard. People can be academically gifted or gifted in many ways, but they also don't apply that discipline and hard work. So I am curious to see why did you not just kind of rest on your laurels? Hey, I'm smart. and I can just whiz by. I can just kind of slide by. What gave you that drive and that impetus to really reach as high as you could reach? And whether you became valedictorian or not, you had reached as high as you could reach, and now you are in positions of great influence. What gave you that impetus to push forward?
I think it's, I don't know, and I want to give it my all. I want to produce awesome work. I want to be creative. I want everything good that I can bring to the table to shine through. Not for others, but because it's rewarding to me. Like, I put my best effort, everything that I do with writing, I proofread, I make sure it's as well written as I could possibly write it. Doing art, it has to be neat. If I'm doing best work that I can give, always, like, it's just a habit. It's not just with academic things, it's just with whatever project that I embark on.
It's interesting as you're talking about how you have developed habits, and it's your habits that's showing up. And that is so true, right? Research and life has proven that whatever we believe in, from your perspective, everything has to be positive. You see a positive side to every negative situation, right? So you see a rainbow in every cloud. So what you believe influences how you show up and what you do, and what you consistently do becomes your habit, and your habits become your destiny. And what you're explaining is such a momentous scenario that everybody should be learning from, everybody should be embracing. And what's coming up for me is you're an outdoors person, you love nature, you love reconnecting with Mother Nature and being outside, hiking. How does staying in touch with nature keeps you grounded and keeps you in a place where you can show up the way you were meant to be as a whole person, in your place of peace and in your place of power?
For me, there definitely is something soothing, something healing in nature. I can't ever be outdoors and not be happy, not be content. Just everywhere you look, there's beauty. I mean, I love taking photos of landscape and scenery because it's so beautiful. And I mean, I could do that all day, every day, because you're driving along the road, you see something. I wish I could pull over sometimes, because that moment, maybe the sun is hitting it just right and it will never happen again. But it gives me peace, and I guess it recharges me so that I'm able to show up in the world, at work, at home, and whatever stressful situation I'm faced with this recharge, I'm able to deal with it and not let it overwhelm me.
That's beautiful. I'm going to shift gears again here, just because your background is so fascinating. And you worked in a very male-dominated field. You work in the only energy company, or oil company in Belize. And so I am curious to see, what are some of the obstacles and challenges that you have run into, both internally and externally, as you have navigated this field. I'm assuming being one of the few females.
Yes. I haven't really thought about that a lot, but I think I was afraid in the beginning to, be up there with the guys and sharing my opinions on things. A lot of it in terms of the geology of things or the engineering of things. The guys I work with, I'm happy to say, willing to share their knowledge. They're willing to. The first CEO that Belize Natural Energy had, Dr. Gilbert Canton, he was somebody that when you look at him, for me, I kind of had this fear because he looks so gruff, he looks so rough. But getting to know him over the years, he actually gave everyone, men and women, opportunities to grow. And that's how I ended up going from where I was in logistics to moving over to accounting, and eventually he wasn't there when I became a manager, but I think the momentum started with him. So I guess to answer your question is you fear things, but if you don't try, if you don't see where it's going, if you don't put your best foot forward, if you're afraid to grow or to express or to share, then you'll never really know. So I don't want to live with doubt. I don't want to live with what could have been. I want to try, and if it gets me there, then great. I haven't had an opportunity, like an instance where it went wrong. I just feel like it's always going right in terms of career-wise. And when you do your best, people notice. And I think that the culture at my workplace empowers individuals regardless of gender. And so even though there are not much women at Belize Natural Energy, there is always opportunity for the women there.
That is amazing to hear, because that is not always the circumstances. And part of it may be what you see in the world is in your heart, and whatever is in your heart manifests for you, right? So part of it may be you. Part of it may be you manifesting what is good in everybody and what is good in the environment. And so that is very, very uplifting to hear. As we think about bringing this towards a closure, we've been having a wonderful conversation with you, Eva. What advice would you have for women who are stepping into a professional career, into life? How can they best balance who they are and their profession of what they are doing, so that they can be harmonious within themselves, and then take that peace and harmony and pass it on to those around them?
Well, first of all, in career, I always believe that you have to be happy with the job you're doing or with the career you're embarking on. Like, you literally spend most of your day at work. So you have to be happy there. I mean, it's like the majority of your life. So you have to find a job or a career that you look forward to going to every day. And I've been at my job for 16 years, and I look forward to going to work every day. You have to keep learning. So you learn from others. You never know everything. You learn from others, you learn from peers, you learn from people outside your workplace that have, shared similar experiences. You learn from reading, you learn from videos, and then you teach others. You don't hold it and keep it to yourself. I feel like you just keep going. Every day you learn something new. Be open to change, be open to making mistakes, but not letting them hold you back, or not letting mistakes keep you from trying. And self-development, that is very important. Even if you're in a career in one thing and you have an interest in something else, I would say go for it, learn, because those things end up helping you in your career or in your extracurricular activities. For example, I love doing posters or flyers. I don't need to do that at work, but I'm a part of the Belize Cancer Society, and I end up doing a lot of their flyers for the San Ignacio branch.
Well, it sounds like you're very involved and very engaged, and that you really want to make a difference. And one last quick question is there, and this is one of the core things that Cass and I like to bring out, is that even if you're oftentimes when women are in a male-dominated environment, and it sounds like your environment has room for women, there is still competition between the women. And it's like, if you rise up, that will eliminate me being able to rise up. So how have you been able to keep just an open mind and be able to mentor and uplift all the women around you, even if it might mean that they might eclipse you? How do you keep that open mind to helping other women?
I don't know. I feel like there's room for everyone. And sure, I mean, there have been situations where I felt like maybe other women don't like me, but I don't let it bother me. And fortunately, the women that I do get to work with are all eager to learn. They don't show any type of jealousy or resentment. And we have open conversations. We're comfortable speaking about work, about personal life, about about how you show up at the workplace. And we don't have any we don't mind sharing our knowledge. So if I don't know something, I can ask my coworker and she'll share. If she doesn't know anything, she'll ask me and I'll share. And at the end of the day, knowing each other's jobs is actually an asset or a benefit, because I can go on vacation and not have to worry about work because it's covered. She can go on vacation and not have to worry because it's covered. So I think it's just looking out for each other and realizing that there is space at the top, at the middle, at the bottom for everybody, because everybody has their own unique qualities. Everybody's great or better at something than somebody else. And instead of letting that be something to be jealous about, use it to work as a team, to make yourself better, to make your team better.
That is so profound, Eva. Literally, the fact that when other people know what I do and what I do, they can step into my shoe and pinch it for me. That's a baseball term. And that makes my life better, and I can do the same for them. And it collectively makes the ecosystem more sustainable. So that is such a profound way to look at it. And once again, it goes to the perspective with which you embrace life. So I am so glad that Robin and I got to bring out these elements of you and showcase that. As we bring this to a close, what is the best way for women to get a hold of you, get in touch with you, so that they can connect with you and talk to you and work with you?
Well, thank you both so much for this wonderful opportunity. I was honored, surprised to be chosen. I wish we could speak some more, but for women who would like to reach out to me, I will share my Facebook contact information with you. I also do not mind sharing my email. And for others who would like to get to know me, I have a blog that I've written throughout the course of my life on maybe major milestones, some just on things that mean a lot to me. And so I feel like that would be a nice way to get to know me, because a lot of my core beliefs are in my writing. Hello.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much, Eva. And yes, there is so much more to talk. You're a writer. You love to write. You have other ambitions, other dreams. So consider this one of many. We will be doing other things with the women in this community. So we look forward to reconnecting with you. And I have the honor and pleasure of engaging with you locally because I spend time in Belize. So thank you so very much for sharing your wisdom, sharing your perspective, and most of all, sharing your exuberance for life itself. You're a young woman, and yet you are so open to investing in younger women and women around you. And that is what we find so beautiful and so moving. So as we close, the message to the community and the women out there: enter every scenario, every situation with the mindset that is positive. See your glass as half full And the minute you see your glass half full, you have enough water for you and for those around you. And from that sense of abundance, everything else will fall into place. Life will definitely fall into place and be a better, beautiful, joyful place because you are starting from a place of joy and a place of peace.